It's that time of year when an army of volunteers heads out with clipboards to scour the streets and alleyways in search of people who have no home. The annual homeless count is a week from Friday, a chance to get a glimpse into the nature of the problem. My guests are Dolores Diaz, who is Executive Director of San Diego's Regional Task Force on the Homeless. Thanks for joining us, Dolores.
Thank you.
And Bob McElroy, who is President and CEO of the Alpha Project, which is a non-profit that deals with about 4,000 people every day. Thank you for joining us. So, Dolores, I want to start with you. Apparently there's about, according to the figures, about 8,000 people with no home in San Diego. How has that changed in the last couple of years?
Over the last couple of years, homelessness is slightly going down in San Diego.
Which is a surprise in a way. Why is that?
Well, we are seeing more resources from the federal government as it relates to ending veteran homelessness. There's been some resources there, and I think that's having an impact on our numbers. Okay.
Would you say that the population has changed, though? The numbers may be going down, but the kind of people has changed?
We'll find out in the count when we actually get out there and count and start interviewing folks.
Okay, so now, Bob, the whole approach to ending homelessness, and there is this goal to end homelessness, the whole approach has changed as a result of a federal goal to end homelessness and give people a house first before they change their lives, rather than vice versa. How is that working?
We have a new criteria this year. Instead of just having first come, first serve when we open the shelter, we now use what's called the vulnerability index, and it targets those folks who are the most infirm, the most needy, the most frequent users of emergency rooms and these type of things. And so our first 200 folks in there are pretty cool. Challenge.
Okay, well, tell me, how are the homeless reacting to this change in the strategy?
Enthusiasm. The expectation from the population that we deal with, and we also have Neil Good Day Center, so we deal with about 400 to 500 people every day. Their expectation now is, and that's why they filled out the SPDATs and the new criteria, they want to get housing. And the enthusiasm, their willingness to do what they're asked to do with their case managers and follow the process has been great. I've been doing this 28 years, and we have I always prided myself on knowing just about everybody on the streets. We have a whole bunch of people I've never seen before that have been program resistant maybe. They lived in the margins around downtown San Diego, haven't accessed services, and they've come in and they want to start the process.
Well, it sounds good, you know, to give a house before you expect somebody to change, because that would obviously help someone change their lives to have a house. But do we really have the resources to do that?
Well, and that's the thing. We're doing. I guess we're in the embryonic stages. We've been participating in this process. It's been about a 2-year process where we started nationally the Housing First model, the 25 cities and these type of things. So since November, we've placed 120 people in housing, and only 4 out of 120 have left the program. And they'll go back in line, but and we tell people, one of the incentives is, I mean, this is your only chance. We've got 2,500 people on the waiting list, so if you blow this, you go to the back of the line. And so people are staying with the program. They're working with their case managers. They're doing everything they're asked to do, and it's been tremendously successful.
So, Dolores, do you think that coordination between all the agencies working with the homeless has improved in the couple of years you've been at the partnership?
Absolutely, it has. We're undergoing system change in San Diego, and our agencies are now sharing a lot more information. They're off of one database that where they're able to view information on clients, and there's a lot more communication that's more in the weeds kind of communication with regard to common clients and that type of thing.
Okay, now if someone's going to volunteer to be a part of this count, do they get training? What does that involve?
They do. We ask volunteers to go on our website, www.rtfhsd.org. Right in the middle of that page, they will click on Volunteer Now, and they can select where they want to deploy from, their location. The count is on Friday, January 23rd, between 4 and 7 a.m., so we're asking volunteers to get up extra early, and they would be able to get training right online.
Great.
For
okay, so
counting,
there is a little training. That's
for
good.
Counting. If they want to interview homeless persons, that is a in-person training, and we can schedule that with them.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Bob, let me just finish by saying you've been in this business for years and years. What do you think is the biggest challenge? Is it even realistic to think about ending homelessness in San Diego?
Well, I've been saying it for 28 years we can end homelessness, especially in San Diego. We've got 1,000 people in the downtown area roughly, and 6,000, 8,000 countywide. LA's got 50,000. They have a problem. It's just it's having the political will and have everyone coalesce with one mission. I think that's what we have. The only thing we're missing now, well, we're demonstrated the success. We need the inventory of permanent supportive housing and funding.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll provide more information on the web for those who are interested. And Bob McElroy, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us. And Dolores Diaz, thank you for being with us.
Our pleasure.